What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr, and today bringing you some more duels from locals. This time we actually have Trickstar versus Madolche, something a little bit different. So it looks like we're going to be starting off with some of the brand new Trickstar cards. I say brand new, they've been out for a while now, but we just haven't seen them featured in many places. So starting off with Trickstar Festival, lets you special on 2 Trickstar tokens, and if a Trickstar monster special summons you, monster or monsters you control that was special from the edge of there would be destroyed with a battle card effect, you get to banish this card from the graveyard. You can't normal summon or special summon monsters the turn you activate this effect, except Trickstars. Then we're going to be moving those tokens straight into a Link 2. Now apologies for the camera angle on this one, pretty bad, but that to me looks like either Trickstar Dividaris, followed up by 2 sets. It might even be Trickstar Holy Angel, to be completely honest. Bit of a retro callback on that one. Looks like we're going to be starting off with Trickstar Reincarnation. It hits Small World, 3 monsters and evenly matched, drawing 6 brand new cards. Is there going to be a Droll Chain Reincarnation? Droll, and then in response is a call by the grave to deal with that Droll. So that's a nice kind of just giving them the out to your own Droll and Lockbird. Big sad. Now the question is there another Droll Reincarnation? Because if that's the case, that would be pretty spicy. There is a second Droll, so there's definitely, that's quite an interesting one. I've always seen people, the way that these usually gets played is you let your opponent get their first search, and then you reincarnate them and then Droll them. Sorry, so they do their first search, you go on resolution, Droll, chain reincarnation. Is that right? No, you go chain reincarnation, chain Droll. I think that's how it usually works. Because they search, you go activate reincarnation, still in the same window that they've searched, you activate Droll as well. And then Droll resolves, meaning they can't draw. Reincarnation resolves, meaning they have to ditch their entire hand. But then because they can't draw, they can't go from there. Looks like we're activating Dark Rule no more, going straight into Angeli, one of the best normal summons of the Madolche strategy, being able to tribute off and going to put in Cesor. The Madolche deck is actually like really insanely good. I feel the issue is there's so many times where it restricts the amount of non-engine you can play a little bit. But then I say that, I know that Donald plays Kaijus, he plays Dark Rulers, he just plays it his own way. And I don't know what's more scary. When he plays it goes second or when he plays it goes first. Because when he plays it goes first, he still loses to Nibiru. But like if you do it right, they just get a Fossil Diner and they get you on a full lock and you're like, bruh. But then going second, they're just so incredibly powerful, especially with the new card being able to shuffle cards back as well. Like they basically have a tiramisu for going first because it lets you do a quick effect to basically non-target shuffle during your opponent's turn. That's what just makes the deck so good, is the non-target shuffle, which is really insane because non-target shuffle is pretty much outs any boss monster in the entire game. But Madolches kind of have that feeling that they're kind of the same as like heroes and everything else. Like when they go off unanswered and your opponent doesn't have a Nibiru, happy days. But if they do have a Nibiru, you pretty much just get slapped in the face on that one. So we've got a Pudding Cesor in defense at this moment in time. 1 set card and a Link 2. I'm not too sure which one that Link 2 is. Apologies. I think it's I can only think that it's Holy Angel or Dividaris. Or Dividis, sorry. It could even be Noble Angel from this angle. But it's such a weird angle, I can't even tell what the zones are either. So, whoops. That's just like really bad camera placement on my behalf. Oh, normal summon Herald of Orange Light. No one wants to be doing that. Lincoln's SP. Are we going to find out? Holy Angel? No, it still just says Angel. All I saw was Angel, which can still be Holy Angel or Noble Angel. Which is quite annoying. But SP Little Knight. Are we banishing anything? I'm surprised he didn't banish the Pudding Cess. So, North Summon Hoot Cake. God damn, that's a good top deck to have. Or maybe they had that in the hand. Target Angeli. Classic combo. I mean, nothing really happens. Like, there's not really anything the SP can really do right now. Because you banish the Angeli, you get the summon from the deck. You've got the rank 4 capabilities on the field already, which will go into Tiramisu, detach, and spin back the SP. So then you're then forced to use the SP to banish. Which I suppose could be still semi-useful. You can tell that I've faced Madolches a lot more than I've faced the Trickstars. Like, I really don't have much of an option. Was that a premature shotgun? Like, so we go into another Pudding Cecil. I'm not too sure if that's a bit premature. Like, hitting the SP early, like that early. Getting into a Pudding Cess, which I believe it's had his levels reduced by 1, so it's now a level 4. Overlay into Glass Souffle. Glass Souffle is going to return cards from the grave. So I think he's just looking at what the new kind of cards do for the Trickster strategy as to whether or not what's worth returning or whether he wants to return his own Madolches. Oh, here comes the Rocky Boy. What do we have? We had Hoot Cake, Pudding Cesor, Pudding Cess, Glass Souffle, and then that's not tiramisu. Chocolat Mode? Is that right? And it was Noble Angel. It was Noble Angel. Okay, there we go. So, apologies, a little bit of delay on this one. So, Noble Angel is if it is linked home, you get to add blue tears from your deck to the hand, which is why you got the trap card. If you have a fusion monster in your field or graveyard, target a Trickstar monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Its effect damage is inflicted, etc. In damage step, target one face-up card on the field and destroy it. You can only use each effect once per turn. It's probably more of a reason to hold back the reincarnation in turn 1. Maybe so. So we've got Nibiru here, but then Pot of Prosperity is going to be very helpful here. Pot of Prosperity is going to allow him to dig to find what would hopefully be another starter. Angeli, Messenger Lato. Oh my god, is that a Salon? Because, I mean, we now know that the opponent only has Nibiru, right? But that Salon gives the additional normal summon. So if there's a card in the hand that can grant that additional, like, can be useful from that normal summon, that's going to be insane. And even if it isn't, you can just get Salon to set a card, which is going to be the trap card, which is basically a target negate. Oh, no, there you go. There's a target negate. You're going to want to be using that so you can spin back or return a monster to the field. Because he controls a fairy, he gets to add it back to the hand, if I remember rightly. So he does need to negate the Nibiru. But I'm assuming not pushing for OTK. I mean, maybe they could push for an OTK, but it needs to get 16,000 damage because of Prosperity. But definitely putting the opponent in a position where no matter what gets top decked, it can get dealt with because you get to reset the trap card. Overlay into Tiramisu. Tiramisu's effect, return the Nibiru. Put back Glass Souffle and a Pudding Cess. Attack for half damage of 11, I believe it is. Madolches are actually really good in a simplified game state as well, because now they go into the brand new rank 5, which basically is a Tiramisu but during your opponent's turn, which is pretty nuts. Activating the field spell, Chateau, to return everything from all the monsters from the grave back. Passing, SP and Hoot Cake come back. With only SP, there's not really a lot of presence here. And it's like, as soon as that XE attempts to use, like, it's not strong enough to be attacked with SP. You don't really want to turn your SP into a Typhon. So, and you've still got the trap card as well. So, if he activates anything and the SP triggers, you use the trap card to negate the SP. Oh, normal summon draw. Chaining the effect, target 2 Madolches in the graveyard to non-target return Droll and SP. You would then attempt, I assume, chain SP, targets itself and anything. And then I would assume the trap guard gets chained, negates the SP so it stays on the field. The Madolche would resolve, putting the SP and the Droll back. Opponent has nothing left on the field, and then you just scoop it up and move on to the next game, which I think is exactly what's happening here, maybe. Getting another new trap card, which is basically like a multiple compulse for the Madolche strategy, which is really kind of cool. And then switch everything attack. And then the Nibiru token is pretty strong. Attack, attack, attack. That's pretty much game. Yep. Okay, moving on to game 2. Normal summon another new Trickstar, which I don't know which one. I believe this is Mandrake. Is it Mandrake? No, it's not Mandrake. I've got all the Trickstars in front of me. It's this one. It's Trickstar Hoodie. If you try a Trickstar Fusion or Link, you get a special on this card from the hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for a Trickstar Link, add a Trickstar Fusion or Trickstar Diffusion from your deck to the hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. Moving into a Link one. That one looks like Trickstar Chia. One non-link Trickstar monster, only special on it once per turn this way, or once per turn in general. When a monster is destroyed by a battle involving your Trickstar while it's cast in the graveyard, banish it, and then that target Then target that, destroy a monster and inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack. You can only use each vet once per turn. I'm assuming you don't want to be hard open up Hoodie. You want to be hard open up anything else. But I mean, Hoodie in a set 3 is not ideal in this scenario, especially against Madolches. Okay, we're going for the reincarnation. Have we got the reincarnation droll again, or is there an Ash Blossom to stop the first reincarnation? No, reincarnation's resolving. Lots of... Oh, we had the call by again in his hand. Well, at least you know if you do have a draw off the back of this one, it's not going to get hit with a call by. What have we got? Have we got the droll reincarnation? No? No, I've never... It's probably like the biggest downside of reincarnation is that you don't really want to be giving your opponent a fresh hand unless you have any benefit for their cards being banished. I think surely you're not contemplating another reincarnation, right? Oh, okay. He's called Battle Phase and gone for the evenly. Gonna leave them with 1 card. Do you really care about leaving the Trickstar Link monster on the field unless there's a trap card that needs it to be on the field? I think they're both gonna surely they both go, right? You don't keep. Kept the link. Wow, those traps must be major bluffs. I don't know why that link one's so important. I don't see the reason for keeping that one around, to be honest. And then Pudding Cecil, the Pudding Cecil was such a great addition for this deck. It really did take it up, well, don't get me wrong, Salon and the trap card really took them up a level. But the Pudding Cecil, the fact that it's just have no cards in the graveyard, or no monsters in the graveyard, special summon it. It's kind of why a lot of players don't play the monster traps. But then I suppose you can play Purge, right? There's no reason not to play Purge. Maybe you just go on impermanent purges rather than anything else. That can give you a very decent kind of option. I do know that Matt, who is the other player that plays Madolche, he does play Ash Blossom, but he returns there's a combo that you do where you return it from the grave back to the hand, which I think is really kind of cool. But it's probably more an assumption that you go first rather than having to use your Ash Blossom going first. Looks like Glass Soufflé is going to put back the Trickstar reincarnation and the Trickstar monster Hoodie back into the deck, going into... I can't tell if he's looking at the camera or what on that one. Probably knows that something's gone wrong there. Looks like, was that Salon? This has to be OTK, right? This is let Donald go to autopilot. Angeli, trap card, Nibiru. Okay. No autopilot, just a fat rock. I always find this interesting as well. So with Madolches, there's not really a point where they can't stop Nibiru. The only difference is you just need to make sure you don't give them a crazy fat stack token. So at that point, you probably let them summon twice from the extra deck, give them a Nib token, and then you go into Typhon, which I think is what's happening here. But the Typhon can get negated because of the trap card. So even if you were to turn Nib into a Typhon to try and return that token, it just gets negated, and then the token's still going to be like a fat stack, and then you have no more summons. So Typhon's probably the last thing you want to be doing. I was hoping that wasn't a normal summon draw, but that looks like that's a Lycanus. Where do you go from here, though? If you go Typhon, it still just gets negated and you can't get rid of that token. Maybe this is where you want another one of the Link 1 Trickstars. Because then you can turn into that Link 1 Trickstar and then SP, target itself, and target the token to banish, chain the trap card. Can it target itself from the token? You can't banish tokens face down, but you can banish them, they just disappear. But then I don't know if tokens return after they're banished. And if they do return, are they 0/0? I can't remember off the top of my head. Maybe someone will know in the comments. I know you can't banish tokens face down, but I know you can banish them. But I'm not sure if something like SP... I think you resolve SP as much as possible, so it does come back. And he has gone for the Typhon play, which is quite interesting. Because I feel that in this position here, it just gets met with a trap, and then you've got nowhere to go. Yeah. Trap negates it, the token stays, you've got Lyrilisk on the field, not really doing anything, Bob burning for 200 life points right now. The trap card returns Angeli back to the hand, so now Donald's got the starter again. Gets the trap card, which is basically like a compulse. Yeah, so I don't think there's enough there that's really interrupted it. I think SP might have been your best bet. But even then, I mean, SP would have guaranteed to get rid of token if it plays out the way I expect it to, which would be SP summon, effect, target. Again, keeping in mind that you would turn the Trickstar into the Link 1 Trickstar again. Target the token to banish it. Chain the trap card because you don't want the token to get banished. Chain SP, target yourself and the token. Banish both. And then only SP returns. I guess. Normal summon, not Angeli. Messenger Lardo? Is that Messenger Lardo? Search out another one, additional normal summon it down. I think we're going to be pushing in for the OTK here. Like, as long as you don't put anything above 3k right now, which with Chateau, a lot of their cards will get stronger, but you just keep them lower, which pretty sure Tiramisu only gets up to like 27 or something. So it's not that damaging yet. Nib token to attack. Quackers. The, what are they called? The Vernisylphs. That's it. That's the other engine that he plays. You play the Vernisylphs, are really, really good in the deck. So Vernisylphs, start discarding. This just allows you to extend. Target in 2, return in 2. And then token is above 3k, I think. It's like 3 something. Because it was a chocker or something. I don't know. But it's very strong. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Do like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, stay safe and happy dueling.